All right, Miles, the Cincinnati Bengals are once again in the news for a lot of the right reasons. This is, of course, one of the top contenders in the AFC and, of course, one of the top contenders in all the NFL. And it looks like the Bengals have gotten a really exciting news that means their run of being a top contender in this league will continue for the long term.
Yeah, Nick. And the Bengals are being a top contender is clearly predicated on one thing, and I think specifically is the elite level wide receiver talent they have on this roster. I think it's a really big deal, and it's going to be a point of contention going forward to see if they can keep all these guys. But let's not focus on that right now. I want to focus on the past and ask the Bengals fans in the comments below, who is your favorite Bengals wide receiver of all time? There's some contenders on this roster right now, but I want you to go through the annals of Bengal history and let us know who's your favorite Bengals wide receiver of all time in the comments below. And make sure to stay tuned to the end of today's video to hear a word from our partner, Neuro. They have some really great products that help give you a quick and easy boost of energy. Me and Nick love to take their mints or gum right before a show to keep us sharp, keep us on task, keep us going forward in our daily lives as well. So stay tuned to the end of today's video to hear about more of Neuro's products and get your hands on our discount code. But Nick, nonetheless, let's get into the story. What is the big news for the Cincinnati Bengals?
Yeah, Miles, let's go ahead and pull it up. I think this is actually a really good sign for the Bengals going forward. This is from Outkick.com, and I'll read from the report. I'll give my thoughts. I'm curious what your 2 cents are. Okay, it's no secret that the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow, obviously starting quarterback Joe Burrow, have been working on a contract extension. The quarterback on Tuesday confirmed that's happening and added there's part of the negotiation that isn't all about him. Quoting Joe Burrow here, I'm pretty clear on what I want in the contract and what I think is best for myself and the team, and we're on the road to making that happen, Joe Burrow told reporters. I'm involved, and that's in the works. That's not really something I like to play out in the media. That's something just the way they want to do business. I want to do business. We want to keep that between us, talking about himself and the Bengals organization. Burrow went on to say this, and I think this is the huge critical takeaway from Burrow's comments. Quote, you got to have good players. It doesn't matter how good your quarterback is. If you don't have good players around him, you're not going to be a good team, unquote. Miles, this is an awesome indicator for the Bengals because obviously success in the NFL is predicated on two factors. Being really good at quarterback, the Bengals with Joe Burrow obviously are, and surrounding that quarterback with quality talent, either above average talent or elite level talent. And one of the things Joe Burrow recognizes, it's the same sort of thing that Tom Brady recognized with his career at the Patriots. He's like, listen, I can create a massive deal. I can get all this money. I can be the highest paid quarterback in history. But I'm going to lose a lot of these guys around me. My team's not going to be as good. I'm not going to win as many games, and I'm not going to like that as much. You can go that route, or you can go the Tom Brady route. Get a team-friendly deal, maybe a little bit below market value for your talent, but keep the playmakers around you. Keep the quality personnel around you. Keep winning games. Keep going to AFC title games. Keep going to Super Bowls, hopefully winning Super Bowls. I think this is a great sign that Joe Burrow recognizes that if he does this right, gets the right deal, structures it the right way for the team, while also what's best for him and makes him happy, this Bengals team could be a contender, not just in the division, not just in the AFC, but for Super Bowls for the next decade and a half or so. I think this is outstanding news for the Cincinnati Bengals at this point in the offseason. Miles, give me your thoughts on this.
Yeah, Nick. So I really think this is a great sign for the Bengals because you talk about not having top tier talent. It makes me think the last 2 or 3 years with the Packers with Aaron Rodgers. He is an excellent quarterback, and that can only get you so far, though. We're talking about winning Super Bowls here. That's the goal. The Packers didn't have great wide receivers. They didn't have a lot of talent. Aaron Rodgers had a massive deal, and they just weren't either willing or able to surround him with great talent, whatever the case may be. He didn't have that. And it shows they could get far, but they can never seal the deal. They can never make it to that Super Bowl. And I feel like if the Bengals go that route with Joe Burrow, it could be a little bit dicey on keeping some of this talent. But if he goes after exactly what he's talking about, if he gets that team-friendly deal, it's going to help keep the Higgins around. It's going to help keep the Chases around. I think Chase is a lock to stay, but you look more at the Tyler Boyds and the Higgins. Those are the guys you're going to lose, and that is really what makes this team click. I don't think there's arguably a better trio of receivers when you look at Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. Those are three very, very good receivers at everything they do. I think Tyler Boyd's elite level slot. I think Jamar Chase, great playmaker. T. Higgins is very underrated. He'd be a number one on most teams in the NFL. So Joe Burrow knows what he has. He knows what's going forward with this team, and I think that he wants to keep this together. I think he likes having all of this talent because, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If he's got good talent, it's going to make him look good. So I really like this sentiment going forward. I've always thought Joe Burrow is a very smart guy, savvy guy. That's kind of been, the thoughts about him going forward through the NFL. So showing this mindset is really, really shows me, like you said, almost Tom Brady-esque thought process. Like, hey, I'm about championships. A couple million off to the side of my contract isn't going to make that much of a deal. I'm probably making, $50+ million a year anyways. It's really not that big of a deal. So let's keep the talent around me and make me look as good as possible by having a great supporting cast.
And might as well leave you with this. I saw this quote from Jamar Chase on Pro Football Focus's PFF Twitter feed, and I think this hits the nail right on the head, directly quoting Jamar Chase here. Jamar Chase talking about Joe Burrow. He knows he's the best quarterback in the league. He doesn't need the money to prove that. He wants to look out for the people around him and keep the team around him. Mize, if that's the sentiment, if that's true, and Jamar Chase, of course, has no reason to lie. He's played with Joe Burrow both in college and now in the NFL. If that is true, and I believe it is, this Bengals team, this is not going to be, a 2-year run, a 3-year run. This is going to be a 10, 12, 15-year run, very similar to one of these great long-running contenders in the AFC. Because if Joe Burrow sticks around and he takes a team-friendly deal, there's no limit to what this Bengals team can accomplish during this run. This is outstanding news for the Cincinnati franchise. All right, Miles, we would like to give a special thanks to our partner today's video, Neuro.
That's right, Nick. And I want you to go with me on a journey really fast. I want you to imagine this. It's 4th and goal in the big game, Nick. Your team is relying on you to make the big-time game-winning play. I know you've been in this situation before, Nick. The stadium is roaring. The clock is ticking. The game is on the line. But if only in that moment you were able to have some Neuro Gum. Neuro Gum will help you stay concentrated, and it gives you a burst of energy without a nasty crash.
That's right, Mize. Neuro has thoughtfully curated ingredients and does endless lab testing, which means that you can reach the right state of mind safely and consistently. That's the most important part. It gives you a clean burst of energy and focus without the jitters of coffee or any of those other energy drinks.
That's right, Nick. And if you click our sponsor link in the description below, you can enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it.